aboard, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden, not Doctor Who, with you for another live edition of Fire Your MD Now, a.k.a. the Dr. Glidden Show. If you're watching on YouTube, I invite you to join the live chat, worldwide live chat. Visit the drgliddenshow.tv, where you will gain free entry into the chat room, the drgliddenshow.tv. Check it out. Thanks for tuning in and turning on, everybody. The message is growing rapidly. Radio stations from all around the world are calling yours truly to have a conversation, a live conversation on the airwaves, on the internets, about the complete breakdown that we're experiencing here in the wonderful world of not healthcare, disease management, more apropos, brought to the world stage by the allopathically trained MD. Now, you know, my recommendation is fire your medical doctor. Don't listen to their advice for anything that doesn't have to do with trauma care, surgery, or a handful of infectious diseases. And, you know, we could have a conversation about which infectious diseases they're good for and which infectious diseases they're not good for. But, you know, if you have a bleeding artery, if you have a broken leg, you have a bullet in your arm, heaven forbid, then those are the people you want to go to because that's their wheelhouse. But if you're suffering with a chronic disease, you should absolutely positively avoid them. Why? Because we have an axe to grind? No, because their therapeutics are incorrect. The metaphors that I always use is the MDs are like colorblind artists. No matter how good their intentions are, the paintings that they draw are always going to be incorrect. They're always going to be incorrect because they're based on, you know, they're colorblind artists who don't know that they're colorblind, right? So the art is always going to be incorrect, no matter how well-intentioned they are or how technically correct the drawings are and the geometrical shapes are and the proportions and the distance and the shading and the light. The colors are going to be wrong. And the colors have a lot to do with the art, right? So, perfect example, high blood pressure. Your medical doctor will tell you that high blood pressure is caused by something that they're unaware of, right? The medical doctor has no clue whatsoever what causes high blood pressure. They can directly relate it sometimes to kidney malfunction, but they won't be able to tell you what causes the kidney to malfunction. They can directly relate it sometimes to chronic inflammatory processes in the human body, but they are incapable of telling you what causes the inflammatory processes in the human body, and therefore they are incapable of curing the high blood pressure. Heartburn. The MD will tell you that heartburn is caused by too much stomach acid, but they will be incapable of telling you the biological process that makes the body have too much stomach acid. What is it that causes the body to have too much stomach acid, Doc? Well, it's genetic. Well, remember, the genetic answer for everything is an intellectual scapegoat. It's a straw man that the MDs put up in front of you to make you feel intellectually inferior, and they can pass off their lack of understanding of the even basic foundation principles of human health as, you know, intellectual superiority. You have heartburn because you have too much stomach acid, and of course it's genetic. We all know it's genetic. I'm Dr. Huff and Puff. Dr. Huff and Puff says it's all genetic. By the way, Dr. Huff and Puff also says that tornadoes are caused by sunlight. That's right, tornadoes are caused by sunlight. Because sunlight makes water evaporate, evaporated water makes clouds, clouds make tornadoes. So therefore, tornadoes are caused by sunlight. It's nonsense. It's not genetic. Well, just ask the simple question, well, why does my stomach make too much stomach acid? It doesn't make too much stomach acid. Heartburn is caused by not enough stomach acid, and the biological process that causes not enough stomach acid to be present in the body is nutritional deficiencies. Your body is deficient in the nutrients it needs to make and squirt out hydrochloric acid, digestive acid in the stomach. You're going to have underactive digestive acids. You're going to have not enough hydrochloric acid in your stomach. When you have not enough hydrochloric acid in your stomach, the little valve at the top of the stomach opens up, and the stuff that is in your stomach squirts back up into the throat and causes heartburn. It's a deficiency in hydrochloric acid, not in excess, and it's driven 100% by nutrient deficiencies. High blood pressure, most of the time, when it's not related to kidney disease, and most of the time it's not, is caused by simple calcium deficiencies, calcium and magnesium. The arteries of your circulatory system have muscles in them. The muscles help the heart to pump the blood. The muscles constrict and relax by virtue of the presence of calcium and magnesium. Not enough calcium and magnesium, the muscles constrict, but they don't relax. When the muscles in the arteries constrict, your blood pressure increases. It's a simple calcium and magnesium deficiency. But your medical doctor is blind to simple physiology. They don't know it. They don't know it. And because they don't know it, they don't deserve your respect, and they are the last people you want to go to get a leg up on a chronic health condition. But they are the only people that your medical insurance pays for. They're the only people that you really know about. They're the only people that practice in the hospitals in your cities or towns or, wherever you live. They have completely cornered the market, and they bring to the table old-fashioned, outdated therapeutics, which are based upon a physiological model of the human body, which is wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. 2 + 2 does not equal 5. 2 + 2 equals 4. Your medical doctor will tell you that breast cancer is caused by, the BRCA gene. And then if you have the BRCA gene, you're going to get breast cancer. The medical doctor will fail to tell you that the BRCA gene is not a gene, it's a mutated gene. And they're completely clueless as to what causes the gene to mutate or what to do to reverse the mutation, if that's even possible. They should research that, but they don't, because they're not concerned with curing disease. Your medical doctor will tell you that arthritis is, just life, that the joints will wear out just like the tires on your car. It's only a matter of time until they wear out. Well, guess what? That's incorrect. Your joints wear out not because you're getting old, not because Father Time marches on, but because your body has run out of the nutrients necessary to maintain the proper joint function. And how do I know this? Because when you give the body the nutrients necessary to maintain proper joint function, your joints repair themselves. Without stem cells, without the titanium knee, the arthritis goes away. You get on the other side of it. Now, we can't even say we can cure it. I could have 10,000 patients with before and after MRIs, before and after blood work, before and after x-rays of, an arthritic knee and then a non-arthritic knee. Signs and symptoms before and pages of signs and symptoms after the fact. All this arthritic stuff, but now no arthritic stuff. Orthopedic exams showing no mobility, orthopedic exams showing remarkable mobility, and I still would not be able to say that we can cure arthritis. Because according to the Food and Drug Administration, the only thing that can cure anything is a drug. So the MDs have got it locked. Do you see? They've got it locked across the board. They've got it locked. My profession is only licensed to practice medicine with different scopes of practice in different states. In 18 states. 18 states. Do the math. What's 52 minus 18? 35. There are 35 states in the United States where citizens of the United States of America do not have access to licensed, regulated naturopathic physicians, even though we graduated from fully accredited medical schools, which were accredited by the United States Department of Education. For goodness sake, Blue Cross and Blue Shield in Washington State covers naturopathic medicine. But in Illinois, in Massachusetts, in North Carolina, in South Carolina, in Georgia, in Florida, in Kansas, in Texas, naturopathic medicine is illegal? You've got to be kidding me. Who made that rule? Well, I'll tell you who made that rule. The American Medical Association and the pharmaceutical industry and the insurance companies. Because the longer they're in business, the longer we're out of business, the longer they stay in business, and the longer they stay in business, the more money they make. It's all money driven, 100%. And the thing about it that ticks me off the most is the thing that ticks me off about police the most. I'm not saying that all police officers are bad, psychopaths, and abusive. But in every police force, there are a large number of officers who are. And the officers who are good, honest officers actually trying to do their job by the book, they don't blow the whistle because of the blue wall, the thin blue line, whatever you want to call it. They're not going to give up one of their own, even though the people that we've hired to protect us and to uphold the law break the law. Well, it's the same with medicine. Where are the medical doctors who see this nonsense, because it's here for everyone to see? Where are the medical doctors who are standing up and saying, you know what, Glidden's right. You know what, Wallach's right. You know what, we don't have a free medical market. We need to level the playing field. You know what, we need to disband the American Medical Association because they're probably guilty of racketeering. Probably are. And when I win the lottery, I'm going to sue them. I'm pretty sure with $10 million I could win that lawsuit. But the members of the medical profession are not even standing up and saying this, and members of the medical profession who do espouse naturopathy, there are a handful of MDs in the world who are strong advocates of naturopathic medicine, but they haven't given up their MD degree. And I just have no respect for people like that. I don't, unless they're military field surgeons or, actually doing work that is suited for MDs. I mean, we wouldn't go to a chiropractor for open heart surgery. Well, neither should you go to an MD if you have a chronic illness, because their therapeutics are insufficient to the cause. And where are the MDs who are standing up and saying this? They're not here. They're not here. They are AOL, right? AWL. The technological information age has taken a hold of my frontal cortex. They're away without leave. They're out of the loop. And that's a problem. Stick around, ladies and gentlemen. Way much more to come. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, your steadfast advocate for health, and this is Fire Your MD Now. Having fun yet? I certainly am. Having fun here every day. You have to maintain a sense of humor, or, we're just all going to walk into the water at low tide and just keep going. Because what's the use? I mean, the deck is stacked against us. The people that are in charge of the economy in the world don't have our best interests in heart. The people in charge of the government don't have our best interests in heart. The people that are in charge of medicine don't have our best interests at heart. I mean, who was it that decided that, we should own land? I mean, where did that come from? I mean, who all of a sudden decided that, you could have independent ownership of land? Well, I'll tell you who decided that: the king. How did the Native Americans feel about that? Not pretty good. They got along just fine for thousands of years with nobody owning the land. But we come along, and now all of a sudden we decide, well, guess what? We own the land now because we say we do. Wouldn't that be great if you could just, walk into a neighborhood in California and put down a sign and build a fence or anywhere that you want and just declare that you own the land? Wouldn't that be great? Well, that's what we did. That's what we did in every country in the world. Who came up with that plan? That's what I want to know. It was brilliant on their part to keep the people with the money and, at the top of the pile. People who deliver medicine, it's not effective medicine. It's not effective medicine. It's not effective medicine. And I don't know why these people are in charge, but they are. So what are we going to do? Well, you want to fight City Hall? Go right ahead. I did it for 25 years, and it's Nowheresville, baby. I wouldn't do that again. I'm not going to do that again. I'm withdrawing from the political arena. It's just way too stupid. I will tell you what I am going to do instead is grow a grassroots coalition of the informed. I'm going to talk about science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition for the masses to anybody who wants to listen. And we are going to build a strong, solid, ever-growing coalition of people who see the possibilities available to them in the undiscovered country of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition, who try it for themselves, who get results, remarkable often sometimes, and then tell everybody in their church about it, tell everybody in their town about it, tell everybody in their family about it, tell everybody in the world about it. So we're going to do an end around all the people that are in power. We're going to do an end around everybody. We're going to get people so healthy that they don't need to go to their doctor. They don't need it. There's no reason you need to see a medical doctor unless you have some type of trauma to your body or you really do need surgery. And the only time you really are going to need surgery is if you have had a trauma to your body or you've waited too long to start a medical nutrition program and your body has gone beyond the ability to repair itself. There is a point beyond which your body is screwed, as far as I know. I was talking to a guy I was interviewed by a gentleman in the UK this morning for a radio program, and he was telling me about a therapeutics that the Russians have been involved with for a number of years that actually regrows limbs. They're putting some type of polypeptide on, stumps and growing fingers back, growing legs back. It's remarkable stuff. I'm going to follow this up. But my point here is you can just continue to buy your medical insurance premium and hope that you're not going to get sick. I mean, does your medical insurance premium do anything to support and promote the structure and function of your body? No, it does not. All your medical insurance does is give you access to the leading cause of death in the United States, the MDs. That's great. Let's pay for that. Yeah, let's pay those guys. Let's pay for access to those guys. That's like, hiring a lawyer and they make you give them, a retainer, right? $2,000, $4,000, $5,000 retainer. And the law that they practice, they always lose. I mean, would you retain a lawyer for $5,000 a year and every time they went to court they lost? Would you do that? No, you wouldn't do that. So why do you give your money to the MDs? Oh, because it's illegal if you don't. See how that works? In Canada, in the European Union, they have no choice. It's socialized medicine. They take it right out of the paycheck, whether they want it or not. Now in the United States, it's mandatory. You have to buy medical insurance. You have to. And, people think that the reason that the economy is tanking and the reason that, medicine is so expensive is because the people that aren't insured are making it more expensive for those who are insured, and that's not it at all. That's just bad logic. It's fuzzy math. The reason that it's so expensive is because it doesn't work. MD-directed medicine for chronic diseases does not work. The best possible thing you can do if you're suffering from a chronic disease, fire your medical doctor now. Go into the chat room when we come back. Stick around. Love that music. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health. The phone lines are down at the studio, so I thought for the next segment I would just walk the newcomers through the basic nuts and bolts of longevity. And you can watch this. I'm pulling up some PowerPoint slides. You can watch this presentation for free. The drgliddenshow.tv, the drgliddenshow.tv. So let's see if this is going to work. Keep your fingers crossed. All right. So my mentor, colleague, and friend, Dr. Joel Wallach, the founder of the Longevity company, International Nutritional Supplement Company, publicly traded company, is the unrivaled king of the domain of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. Nobody in the world comes close to matching Dr. Wallach's resume, not only his research resume, but his clinical resume. Dr. Wallach was in charge of $25 million of federally funded research from 1971 to 1983. It was a federally funded project, also funded by national zoos around the United States. Dr. Wallach did 26,000 autopsies. His team conducted over 10 million blood chemistries and histopathologies. And the result of all of this research is in the Smithsonian Institution. And this research literally wrote the book on medical nutrition. This is the textbook of medical nutrition. It's in the Smithsonian Institution, and it is this vast amount of research, grounding in old-fashioned pragmatic research, accompanied by decades, over 3 decades of clinical experience with real patients with real diseases that makes Dr. Wallach's therapeutics so unbelievably effective. $25 million of federally funded research proved that the majority of chronic diseases are caused by not a bad gene, but a bad doctor. Your body has run out of the nutrients it needs, and you're eating all the wrong food all of the time. And if you intervene in time, you can support and promote your body's ability to optimize its structure and function with therapeutic levels of nutrients and stopping eating food that's gumming up the tank, right? I mean, you wouldn't put diesel fuel into an unleaded engine, nor vice versa. You need to give the human body the right fuel all of the time. And, well, when you do, guess what? Remarkable things start to happen. Now, the most important thing to understand here from Dr. Wallach's point of view, from Dr. Wallach's research and his clinical experience, is that there are 90 essential nutrients that the human body needs to maintain its structure and function. 90 nutrients, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and 2 essential fatty acids for a grand total of 90 essential nutrients. And this is why if you hang around longevity long enough, you will see the slogan 90 for life. And that's what this refers to, the 90 essential nutrients necessary for a healthy life. 90 for life. The only problem with this scenario is it is not just tricky, difficult, impossible, or improbable to secure all 90 essential nutrients from food. It's impossible to get all 90 nutrients from food. You can't do it. It is impossible, and here's why. The lion's share of your nutrient needs are minerals, things like calcium, sulfur, zinc, selenium, minerals. Only problem with minerals is the only person who can make a mineral is God. Plants can't make minerals. Animals can't make minerals. If a plant could make a mineral, we could bioengineer spinach to make gold, and we'd all be rich. The only place we get minerals from is the soil. Minerals exist in the soil, but they're not evenly spread out in the soil, and there's also bacteria in the soil if there aren't too many pesticides in the soil. The bacteria in the soil digests the mineral. The plant sucks up the digested mineral through its root system, and now there's calcium in the carrot. There's magnesium in the carrot. There's selenium in the Brazil nut if those minerals are present in the soil. But the minerals are not evenly spread out in the soil. They exist like veins, all right, like the chocolate in chocolate ripple ice cream. A little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there, but not everywhere, not all the time. And this is a gigantic problem. Here's a map. I'm putting up a map of selenium deposition in the soils in the United States. On this map, selenium is red. And as you can see by the map, there's only adequate amounts of selenium in maybe 20% of the topsoil in the United States. And there are areas where there's none whatsoever. Now remember, selenium is one mineral. The body needs 60. There are 60 other maps, and they're all different, and so far there's no place that anybody has discovered in the topsoil anywhere in the world where all 60 minerals are found, which leads to the inevitable conclusion that if your body needs 90 essential nutrients in order to function optimally, you are lucky if your body at any moment in time contains 30, 40, maybe if you're lucky, 50% of your body's nutrient needs, because the minerals that you need are not present in the food. They're not there. They're not there. Then you experience the stress of life. Your nutrient tank starts to bottom out. You start running on nutrient fumes. Then your body breaks, and you go to an MD because they're the only show in town. There are over 275 diseases related directly to not enough calcium in the body. Calcium is one of the minerals, one of the 90 essential nutrients. High blood pressure is a calcium and magnesium deficiency. Arthritis, kidney stones, osteoporosis, low back pain, Bell's palsy, vertigo, ringing in the ears. These are all related to low levels of calcium in the body. Period. You don't have a bad gene. You have a bad doctor. Your body has run out of the essential nutrients that it needs to maintain its structural integrity. So what do you need? You need the 90 essential nutrients. And thank God for Dr. Wallach. I mean, no kidding. I've been doing this for over 25 years. 25 years in clinical practice of naturopathic medicine. 25 years. I've seen a lot of therapeutics, but I haven't seen anything as effective as Dr. Wallach's therapeutics, and the reason is that Dr. Wallach's therapeutics are based on $25 million of federally funded research and over 3 decades of clinical experience with real patients. Wallach wrote the book on medical nutrition. So if you are up against a health concern and, you have to pay money out of the pocket because medical insurance doesn't pay for it, my advice, go to the source. Lean on the expert. Dr. Wallach is unrivaled in his knowledge and application of medical nutrition, and Dr. Wallach's got your back. Dr. Wallach has put together a number of nutritional supplement formulas which provide your body with all 90 essential nutrients. The foundation program is called the Healthy Start Pack. The recommendation here is 1 Healthy Start Pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month and 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals. 1 Healthy Start Pack and 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals per 100 pounds of body weight per month provide your body with all 90 essential nutrients in absorbable recipes, absorbable doses, and this is a key deal. We need to have absorbability. Not all vitamin supplements are created equal. Not all wines are created equal, right? Not all bowls of chicken soup are the same. Well, what's the difference? The recipe is the difference. Well, Dr. Wallach's recipes are informed by $25 million of federally funded research, 3 decades of clinical experience. I think I'd go there first if I wanted to give medical nutrition a try. And again, Dr. Wallach's got your back because we have put together a number of different generic boilerplate foundation medical nutrition interventions, because another cultural myth that we're all suffering from is this ridiculous notion that healing is a complicated, sophisticated process that should only happen in multi-million-dollar high-tech facilities. It's nonsense. Surgery is complicated. Healing is easy. Medical nutrition supports your body's built-in God-given ability to fix itself. So if you're struggling with a blood sugar issue, type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance syndrome, syndrome X, metabolic syndrome, you don't need a doctor's appointment. You don't need to pay in a medical insurance copay. You don't need thousands of dollars of blood work. You need good, new-fashioned medical nutrition. It would be prudent, don't you think, if you're struggling with a blood sugar issue, to provide to your body the raw materials that your body needs to optimize its blood sugar metabolism. Wouldn't that be a smart idea? Well, yes, Dr. Glidden, it would. 1 healthy blood sugar pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month is a very smart place to start. You're struggling with a bone and joint issue? Well, do you need knee surgery? Probably not. It would probably be wise and prudent for you to give to your bones and joints the raw materials that they need to support and promote their optimal structure and function. 90 essential nutrients plus a couple of extra bone support formulations, collectively referred to as the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. 1 per 100 pounds of body weight per month is the most excellent place to start. Have a problem with concentration? Can't remember anything anymore? Is your old ticker giving you a problem? Took a licking but didn't really keep on ticking? Well, lean on Dr. Wallach. That's my recommendation. Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. 1 Healthy Brain and Heart Pack is a very good place to start to give your central nervous system and your cardiovascular system a shot in the arm. 1 Healthy Brain and Heart Pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. You have esophageal reflux, heartburn, GERD, Barrett's esophagus, celiac disease, inflammatory bowel disease, Crohn's disease. Well, a good place to start, don't you think, would be to give your body all the raw materials it needs to have a strong and healthy digestive tract. Isn't that smart? You're darn right it's smart. And again, Dr. Wallach's got your back. In order to support and promote healthy digestion, the recommendation is 1 Healthy Digestion Pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. This is what we're up to, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we talk about all of the time. And Dr. Wallach, in his wisdom, after he was fired by Yerkes Primate Research Center for discovering the cause and the cure for cystic fibrosis, which was so outside of the box of conventional wisdom that they let him go because they couldn't intellectually comprehend what he was talking about. What do you mean, Wallach? It's a genetic disease. We've been saying it's genetic for 30 years. You're coming along and telling me it's nutritional? What are you, nuts? Dr. Wallach discovers the cause and the cure for cystic fibrosis, and he's fired. The National Institute of Health blackballs him from teaching in any medical university in the United States. What's he going to do? Well, I'll tell you what he did do. Tell you what he didn't do. He didn't decide to sell his vitamins at health food stores or through the home shopping network like Andrew Lessing. Didn't decide to give his vitamins to physicians only. He decided to give them to you. He decided to enlist your aid in growing a grassroots coalition of the informed. So he founded Youngevity on purpose as a networked business, the intention of which is to pay you to help us grow our grassroots coalition of the informed, people who have become frustrated with conventional medicine, people who have been ushered into the undiscovered country of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition, who got results and then who told everybody in their life about it. Every army needs to be paid. We are growing a non-militant army of the informed. It is a war for hearts and minds. 2 + 2 will always equal 4. Your body will always need the 90 essential nutrients, and we need your help spreading this message. So get with the person that told you about this radio show and ask them about the Youngevity business opportunity. Get with the radio show that you're listening to. Listen on the commercial breaks for the number to call to get more information. And if you found me all by yourself, give me a call, 855-347-3696. Murray says, Doc, I went gluten-free for 5 weeks and then ate a box of mac and cheese. Oh, my God. I just lost the question here. Hold on. And a Taco Bell with gluten over the course of the day to test it, and I did not get sick. Can I assume I can digest gluten now? Yes. This is the acid test for any type of a food-related allergy that you suspect or intolerance. The gluten is not an allergy, it's an intolerance that you expect or presume may be present in your body. If you eliminate the stuff for 5 weeks, then you add a lot of it to your body in one day and you get no negative reactions whatsoever, then you're good to go. Now, we postulate about 25% of the population. About 25% of the population are okay with gluten. But because what we talk about here are boilerplate foundation medical nutrition strategies for the masses, the recommendation is everybody should avoid gluten because 75% of the time I will be correct. So it's a very smart idea, Murray, to do the elimination challenge diet, but it's kind of a sticky wicket because on the day that you add gluten back into the mix, you want to look to see, right? Maybe it's not your chronic arthritis that flared up or your blood pressure, but maybe your sleep that night wasn't so good. Maybe your digestion wasn't that great. Maybe you were a little constipated the day after. Maybe your mood was a little moody or something, right? So you really need to be objective and look to see across the board whether anything flared up. And if anything did flare up, then I would say no to gluten. But if you're mindful, you went 5 weeks and then you threw gluten back into the body, you should be good to go. And it's interesting, my experience with people who can tolerate gluten is that the majority of them are African Americans. And I don't know why. African Americans, in my clinical experience, can tolerate gluten better than anybody. Now, there's millions of African Americans who can't. But I'm interested to know, Murray, whether you are African American or not. Isn't that interesting? Sharon in the chat room says, I have a friend who wants to start the Healthy Pack but has kidney stones. Won't take any calcium at all. She did take calcium per doctor's advice and got a double case of kidney stones. What can I tell her? I know that you say that calcium doesn't cause kidney stones. Well, tell her that Dr. Glidden is right and her doctor is wrong. And by the way, there's a difference between getting kidney stones and passing kidney stones, right? People get these two things mixed up all the time. You can have a kidney stone in your kidney for 50 years. And you can have a kidney stone in your liver for, a day. It takes a while for a kidney stone to form, but once it's there, it can stay there forever. Kidney stones are only problematic when they leave the kidney and go down the ureter into the urethra, into the bladder, and then you try to pass it out. It's extremely painful when the stone is moving from the kidney into the bladder. Extremely painful. So what happens? People are completely undernutrified. Their bodies are completely devoid in calcium. This causes the parathyroid glands on the side of the thyroid to secrete parathormone, which leaches calcium in massive doses from the bones in order to neutralize the pH of the blood. So now you have a calcium storm in the blood, which causes kidney stones to form. You go to your medical doctor, he draws blood. Oh, yeah, your calcium level's elevated. But the calcium level in the blood is elevated because of insufficient amounts of dietary calcium. Your medical doctor, having never taken a course in medical nutrition, missed that significant data point, and all their conclusions after the fact were incorrect. So now you take some nutrients into the body, the 90 essential nutrients, and guess what? Your kidney starts popping out the stones because it wants to get rid of them. But it didn't have the chutzpah to be able to do that before you took the nutrition. So you take the nutrition and then you pass the kidney stone, and then your stupid doctor tells you it's the nutrition that caused the kidney stone. That's just insane. And that physician should have his or her license revoked. Hour 2 coming up, folks. Stick around. So glad that you joined us. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Still having trouble with the phones at the studio. So probably for the rest of this hour, I will be fielding questions from the live chat, which we are streaming live on the internets. Check it out, thedrgliddenshow.tv. There are currently 81 people in the chat room from all over the world. So let's get in and get her done. Murray chimes in and says, Doc, I've been taking 2 to 3 ounces of the calcium in the plant minerals, and I sip it all day, and I've been dead tired since taking the product. It's hard to keep my eyes open after drinking this stuff. Why? Well, probably, Murray, because your body needs to sleep. This is a very interesting thing to talk about, right? We want to follow the body's lead here. So when there was interesting studies done years ago, I think at Boston University. They took a number of college students and they put them into, basement rooms for a week or so. They didn't have any exposure to the outside whatsoever. The kids had no idea what time it was, and the researchers manipulated how many hours they slept every night in order to try to draw some conclusions about sleep-waking cycles. And what they found out was that everybody has a certain number of hours that they need to sleep every night. Let's say the average was 7 hours of sleep were necessary every night for your body. Well, if on Monday you got 6 hours of sleep, that's a 1 hour debt. If on Tuesday you get 5 hours of sleep, that's a 2 hour debt. 2 hours plus 1 hour, that's a 3 hour sleep debt, and so forth and so on. And the sleep debt accrues until it's paid off. So it's entirely possible that this Murray gentleman from the chat room, he has developed a remarkable sleep debt, and now that his body is nutrified, it's forcing him into the sleep mode in order to recover the sleep debt. And this is a very important thing, because one of the keys to walking through life with health, whether you are nutrified or not, is being able to get enough hours of sleep. If you don't sleep, I don't care how many nutrients are in your body, you're going to feel like crap. So, Murray, when you're not working, my recommendation to you would be just, set aside next weekend, if you have the weekends off, and sleep. Go to sleep. You feel sleepy, go to sleep. Block all the light from your bedroom. Turn off the clock so there's no even, electrode lights shining on your retina through your lids. Because the morning light or any type of ambient light in the room will mess with your sleep and waking cycle. I think that your body probably just needs more sleep. Now, that's one thing. Another thing to do is to stop taking the calcium throughout the day and only take the calcium in a large dose immediately before bed. Take the calcium in a large dose immediately before bed. And please remember, this is a comprehensive nutritional support intervention with 90 nutrients, not just calcium and the plant minerals. You need the Beyond Tangy Tangerine also. So give your body the Beyond Tangy Tangerine throughout the day, the essential fatty acids with every meal, and take the calcium immediately before bed. And, give yourself time to recover on your sleep debt, because I think that is probably at play here. Okay? All right. Who's up next in the chat room? Looks like Sharon says, oh, no, sorry. It's hard to read down this list, but I'm doing the best that I can. Somebody named Is in the chat room, IS, says, is soy healthy for males to consume? Well, I'm not an advocate of soy because soy has phytoestrogens in it, and phytoestrogens will mess with your body's hormones, whether you're a man or a woman. So a little bit of soy, and by a little bit of soy, I mean maybe, a meal with some tofu in it a couple times a month. Or some, edamame at a Japanese restaurant a couple times a month, no problem. But on a regular basis, I would avoid taking soy, whether you are a man or a woman. And it is because of the phytoestrogen component. Now, there's also the GMO issue and the pesticide issue and all this other stuff, right? But notwithstanding that, I'm not an advocate of soy. I don't recommend it, especially for children. David says, I'm suffering from hidradenitis suppurativa. Yeah, can you help? Well, what we would need to do in your case, remember that's fancy schmancy doctor talk for a skin condition, right? It's a chronic inflammatory condition in the skin. So what are we going to do? We're going to give your body the nutritional support that it needs to optimize its structure and function. So I don't know if we can help, but I don't know if we can help for Niemann-Pick disease either. But here's what I do know. I know the MDs have nothing for you, and that the fundamental foundation holistic message here is that the human body is actively trying to fix itself all of the time. It is. But it can't fix itself with thin air, and pixie dust. Well, maybe if you could find some pixie dust, that might help. But your body needs raw materials in order to get the job done. So, regardless of the health condition, stop eating food that's hurting the body and give the body the raw materials that it needs. 1 Dr. Glidden pack per 100 pounds body weight per month. It's a really good place to start. I would try that for 3 months. And look to see inside of those 90 days if anything remarkable happens. And if anything remarkable does happen, which it is wont to do, maintain the therapeutic discipline. Just keep riding the horse until, you're as better as you're going to get. Not a bad idea. Now, after 90 days, if there's been zero change, you can abandon the therapeutic, but no harm and no foul. I know that everybody's body needs the 90 essential nutrients. I know that. I know that we need to stop eating the 10 bad foods. I know that. So, when we do these two things, sometimes the body has enough vital force left. Sometimes the body has enough resiliency left to get on the other side of the chronic health condition. Sometimes you get 90% better, 80% better, 70% better, whatever. I don't know. But your body knows. And your doctor doesn't know. So give your body a fighting chance for 90 days. 90 for life for 90 days, and judge for yourself whether it's effective or not. Every once we get a question, well, Ken from Ohio pipes in with some advice, which I always like. It says, hey, Doc, if you're looking for a decent pizza crust or baguette, are you sitting down? Yes, I am. Gourmet Against the Grain is pretty good. Gluten-free grains and cheeses are used to make these products. It's called Against the Grain. Gourmet Against the Grain, is that the name, Ken? I'm looking forward to that. We always appreciate gluten-free recipes. Please go to Facebook, the Dr. Glidden page at Facebook, and contribute to the cause. Levi says, Doc, do I believe cannabis and or cannabinoids have any value in holistic medicine? Well, there's the age-old saying, God made marijuana and man made alcohol. Well, who do you trust? Well, yeah, marijuana is an herb, and marijuana has therapeutic value. It does. Yeah, most herbs have therapeutic value. Sometimes we don't exactly know what the therapeutic value is. That's why it's called the study of medicine, right? We're supposed to progress, practicing medicine, trying new stuff, new theories, new speculations, and seeing whether or not they hold up to scientific scrutiny. So absolutely, positively. But the way that most people use marijuana around the world is to suppress symptoms. Most people use marijuana as an anti-nausea medicine or an anti-pain medicine, right? And, better to take that than Vioxx, which will kill you. Better to take that than, a prescription medication pain reliever that you're going to become addicted to and that's going to destroy your liver. But it's better yet to try to get to the root cause of what's causing the pain and fix it from the ground up rather than just medicate your symptoms. Now, you can medicate symptoms with herbs. You can. Sometimes it's an appropriate thing to do, but it's always better and best to attempt a cure. Don't you think? It's always better and best to attempt a cure and give the body nutritional support. And this is my recommendation across the board. Michael from Portugal chimes in. Portugal, I told you we were international. 52-year-old female, left foot nerve damage. Been to every specialist, pain meds, vitamins, therapy, massage, injections, back surgery, foot surgery, name it, she's done it. It's an old injury when she was younger, practicing for many hours with high heels, twisted it while on stage, fell off the stage and kept injuring it. The MDs say no cure for nerve damage so bad when it starts she actually goes into the garage with a pillow so her kids don't hear her left foot, so the kids don't hear her. Yeah, that's crazy, right? Okay, so what we need to do in this case is provide ligament and tendon and nerve support. So how do we do that? Well, we eliminate the 10 bad foods because the 10 bad foods cause chronic low levels of inflammation, and that's not a good thing. That's like, squeezing lemon juice into a cut. It's going to make it worse. It's not going to make it better. It's going to feel horrible, going to aggravate things. So we stop eating the 10 bad foods, number one. Number two, 1 Dr. Glidden pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. 1 Dr. Glidden pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. 1 extra bottle of multi-EFAs. 1 extra bottle of multi-EFAs per month. 4 bottles of Z-Radical. 4 bottles of Z-Radical a month. And homeopathic Hypericum perfoliatum. Hypericum perfoliatum, H-Y-P like Peter, E-R-I-C-U-M, Hypericum in the 1M strength. My recommendation, take 2 pellets of Hypericum perfoliatum, the 1M strength, once a day for 7 days. 2 pellets of Hypericum perfoliatum, 1M, once a day for 7 days. And every classical homeopath in the listening audience just had a heart attack. That's my recommendation. I would take it and run with it for 90 days and see what happens because, and also, right, nerves are made from cholesterol. So guess what I'm going to recommend? Eating a diet that's high in cholesterol and completely eliminating any statin drug. That's what I would do. Now, if, she's in a state that I can't prescribe statin drugs in, then, she has to figure it out for herself. But I would flush all statin drugs down the toilet immediately. I would do that. There's no law against saying no to prescription medications. I mean, just follow Nancy Reagan's lead. Just say no to drugs. More to come, folks. Stick around. Welcome back, everybody. Phones at the studio are down, so if you're trying to call the studio, you will be out of luck. We are taking questions exclusively from the chat room, which is free, by the way, the drgliddenshow.tv. Check it out. Now, as I was alluding to a little while before, if you like what we are talking about and if you want to learn more, then get with the person that told you about this show. Because we represent a worldwide coalition of independent business owners, independent longevity distributors all around the world. And it's a networked business model. So if you're interested in what I'm talking about, if you're interested in what Dr. Wallach is talking about, and you want to learn more, get with the person who told you about what we're doing. It's that simple. If you're listening to a terrestrial radio station and you want to know more, listen to the commercial break at your radio show and call the number that they give out during the commercial breaks. Because there are people, probably in your county, in your same zip code, who have your back and who will show you the ropes, and that's how we do it. And if you found us all by your lonesome, if you found me because you're trolling the internet and stumbled across one of my videos, or you just found this by hook or by crook somehow, then and you want to learn more, then get in touch with Team Glidden at Youngevity. That's 855-347-3696, 855-347-3696. Let's go back to the chat room for some more questions. This is getting really interesting here. Okay. Okay. Fern from Cape Breton, that's up there in Canada, says, hey, Doc, a 60-year-old, 140-pound man with flu-like symptoms for 3 weeks had several diagnostic tests and was just told he had Horner's syndrome. I wonder if he sat in the corner with his finger in a pie. As a result of complication with the carotid artery, put on blood thinners. What's going on here? I know Horner's is only an MD name for symptoms. What protocol do I recommend to support him? Well, whether it's Horner's disease or not is, suspect, because MDs make the wrong diagnosis all the time. And once a diagnosis is in somebody's medical chart, whether it's correct or not, they're never going to take it out of the medical chart because they never eat their own. So, I would get a second or a third opinion from somebody before I, sat with any type of definitive diagnosis. I would. But again, even if it is Horner's syndrome, the MDs have no idea what causes it, and they have no idea how to cure it. They know how to name it and immortalize themselves into the bargain. Good for them, not good for you, because they're clueless about it. And you think about it. If we took antibiotics, blood thinners, and anti-inflammatories, prednisone, away from MDs, they would have nothing. They'd be running around in circles like chickens with their heads cut off, and they would not know what to do. They throw antibiotics at everything. They throw blood thinners at everything. They throw prednisone at everything. And it's nonsense, and we put up with it. But, there's a new sheriff in town now, right? Youngevity, and it does make a difference. So what do? Well, we support and promote healthy blood. How are you going to support and promote healthy blood? Eliminate the 10 bad foods. Do one Dr. Glidden pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month, and 100,000 ORAC of antioxidants a day, 100,000 ORAC of antioxidants a day. And if you don't know what that is, get my book. Go to drglidden.com and hit the store button and get my book. You can be reading my book in 5 minutes. It's $10 as a download, $10. You want a soft back? We'll mail that to you. That's $19 or $20. The MD Emperor has no clothes. Better yet, become an insider on my website. And as an insider, you'll have immediate access to over 200 hours of archived health webinars that I put together, which explain all of this in detail. Don't like the internet? Then get my DVD set. I have 3 DVD sets with different webinars on them: maximizing the absorption of supplements, healthy weight loss, a strong body without cancer, healthy blood sugar, healthy bones and joints, cholesterol myth busting, healthy heart and blood pressure. Those would be good DVDs to watch, don't you think? I do. Way better than medical insurance. Way better than medical insurance, because knowledge is in fact power. So this is what we do. 100,000 ORAC points of antioxidants, one Dr. Glidden pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. And for those in the listening audience, Youngevity does not have a Dr. Glidden pack. This is shorthand that I have dreamed up in order to make my life easier. You stay tuned. I'll tell you what's in the Dr. Glidden pack when we come back, because it exists only in my mind. The drgliddenshow.tv is where you need to be. Check it out. It is free. Well, like they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. That's my boy reprising Romeo in the Seattle Shakespeare's production of Romeo and Juliet in good old Seattle, Washington. Thanks for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, your steadfast advocate for health. I'm a licensed naturopathic physician. I have 25 years of clinical experience in the delivery of boilerplate foundation medical nutrition holistic interventions for the sick and suffering. I have been involved in the clinical application delivery of clinical therapeutics as a naturopath for 25 years, which, beats a poke in the eye with the sharp stick. And my advice, if you had a bad tooth, what would you do? Would you go to the internet and try to figure out how to fix it yourself? Well, no. Well, if you have arthritis or high blood pressure or type 2 diabetes or fibromyalgia or anxiety and panic attacks, and you're frustrated with the ineffectiveness of conventional medicine, rather than try to figure out what to do on your own, through the internet, lean on us. Because this is the skill set that we are trained in. Lean on us. We provide foundation medical nutrition for the masses, the intention of which is to support and promote your body's God-given natural ability to optimize its structure and function. Does it work all of the time? No. I'm not aware of anything that works all of the time. It works most of the time. There is a point beyond which your body cannot recover its structure and function. There is a breaking point, and you've gone too far, Charlie. Sorry. But since I've been working with Dr. Wallach, I used to think, let's be honest, every medical doctor, every doctor in the world is a little full of themselves. They are. It just comes with the territory. Before I met Dr. Wallach, I used to think my you-know-what didn't stink, and I thought I knew, where the resting point was, where the point of no return was. I used to think I knew where that was. I don't know where that is. The things I've seen people recover from following Dr. Wallach's advice are unbelievable. And I got to tell you something. This is the greatest thing to happen to medicine since the invention of the sterile technique. And it is not going to trickle down into the public consciousness through mainstream. It is not. This is going to be a grassroots backdoor coalition agenda. Well, that's what we're doing here with Youngevity. Promoting a message, for those who have ears to hear. Give your body the nutrients that it needs. Stop eating food that's coming up the works. Give your body a fighting chance to bounce back. Keep your fingers crossed and see what happens. Let's go back to the chat room. By the way, you can watch the chat room streaming live at thedrgliddenshow.tv. You can become a member and join the chat room. It's free. thedrgliddenshow.tv. Okay? Patty says, other than 90 for life, what would a 60-year-old female do for extremely dry eyes? Drink more water. That sounds silly, but you want to drink more water. And also, dryness in the eyes speaks to gummed up circulatory system, right? There's not enough circulation getting through there. It could be a simple thing as clogged tear ducts. Clogged tear ducts are caused by a vitamin A deficiency. So I would get a vitamin A supplement, and I'm not aware of a standalone vitamin A supplement that Youngevity has. I'm not aware of that off the top of my head. So, get an over-the-counter vitamin A supplement added to the 90 essential nutrients. And also, when we are attempting to support and promote healthy circulation, we recommend the Ultimate Daily Capsules, one bottle of Ultimate Daily Caps per 100 pounds of body weight per month, and a diet high in antioxidants. All right, let's go back to the chat room and see who is next. There's a long list of questions here. Bonnie says, I'm on 2 meds for blood pressure, 1 for hypothyroid and omeprazole. I do have, as you say, one of the nicest doctors in the world. And he knows I don't like to take the meds and hope to get off of some. Well, that's one thing. He doesn't believe I can. Well, that's another thing. And by the way, belief is irrelevant. Belief here is irrelevant. Your doctor telling you that he doesn't believe something is nonsense. That's not what a man of science, that's not what a woman of science should say. That's like saying, I don't believe in gravity. Somebody snuck some LSD into my cocktail. I'm gorked out of my mind on an extra planetary dimension. I think that I can fly, so I climb to the top of the building and jump off. Guess what? Gravity exists whether you believe in it or not. Medical nutrition exists whether you believe in it or not. If I snuck hemlock into your drink or arsenic and you didn't know it, and you thought with 100% of your fibers and your being and your body mind, you believed that you were just drinking apple juice, you would die. Belief is irrelevant. Language is important, and facts are a stubborn thing. I've been taking the Healthy Body Pack for 5 months now, but I've had a hard time getting more than a morning dose in. Any tips? Yeah, buckle down and get more than the morning's dose in, Bonnie. Come on, this isn't playing around. This is medicine. You're supposed to take it. It's tough. It's difficult. Yeah, I know it is. Get over it and take it. Figure it out. I bet if I showed up at your house with a briefcase filled with $1 million in gold coins that I got from Genesis Communication in Minnesota, from Midas Trading in Minnesota, I bet if I showed up with $1 million of gold coins that I got from Midas Trading in Minnesota and said, look, I'm going to give this to you in 7 days if you can take 3 doses of your nutritional supplements every day, I bet you'd find a way to do it. So find a way to do it. And remember, when we are attempting to support and promote healthy blood pressure levels, we recommend extra calcium. So it wouldn't be a bad idea for you to take an extra ounce of calcium a day, plus, of course, eliminate the 10 bad foods. Next question up, Cindy. Cindy from Waterford, New York. I'm aware that sugar craving is not enough protein minerals since having teeth out and protein is really hard to get enough. I did the first doses of the OsteoFX before bed. 2 hours later, I'm up eating melon and cookies. It's interesting. Couldn't get them in fast enough. EFFs are coming back with fish taste, or EFAs. Did 1 scoop of the BTT this morning. Been having this uncontrollable crying thing. Looked up side effects from the 2 drugs, and the mental mood disorder are common with both. I want to see how I get off of these things. Okay. So you need to get with the person who enrolled you into Youngevity. You need to have them walk you through, Cindy, how to take the supplements in a way that allows them to be absorbed in your body with efficiency. Or you could become an insider if you're not already and watch the webinar that I did on maximizing the absorption of the supplements. Because it's one thing to have on the desk the nutritional supplements that you need, and it's another way to get your body to, it's another thing to get your body to absorb them. Now, the problem here isn't with the supplements. The problem is with the body, because different people's bodies have different abilities to absorb the nutrients based on, too many variables to predict. So it's important that we figure out a dosage schedule which is effective. It's important that we figure out a dosage schedule which actually, doesn't make you dread taking your next dose of vitamins, and which actually facilitates and emphasizes, supports your body's ability to absorb the stuff. Because what good does it do to drink it down and poop it out? It doesn't do any good. It does a little bit of good. But it's much better to drink it down and absorb it. This is such an important topic that I did an entire 60-minute webinar on it. It's called Maximizing the Absorption of Supplements. It's available as an insider subscription. It's also available as a DVD. So go to my website and check it out and lean on your upline for support. This is a little bit too complicated of a question to answer in this context. Okay? I appreciate your trust, however. Next person up is Rebecca. Rebecca says, okay, here's the Dr. Glidden Pack, and I promised I was going to tell you what the Dr. Glidden Pack is, right? So it's shorthand. Don't go calling up Youngevity and say, hey, I can't find that Dr. Glidden Pack anywhere, because it doesn't exist. It only exists in my mind. It's shorthand. When I say the Dr. Glidden Pack, here's what I mean. 1 Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid. 1 Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid. 2 bottles of Ultimate Selenium. 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals, and 1 bottle of Ultimate Enzymes. I'll give that to you again, in reverse order. 1 bottle of Ultimate Enzymes, 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals, 2 bottles of Ultimate Selenium, and 1 Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid. That's a Dr. Glidden Pack, and if everybody in the world did one of those per 100 pounds of body weight per day, in 1 generation, we would eliminate breast cancer by 82%. And we would take a significant bite out of the persistence of chronic disease. Yeah, all around the world. Because why do you get chronic diseases? Because your body runs out of the nutrients necessary and it can't handle the stress of life. It can't handle it. I mean, you couldn't handle a snowstorm if you went out in it in your bathing suit. You couldn't handle that. You go out in a snowsuit, you can sleep on the ice. No problem. Your body can handle the stress of life if it's nutrified. Your body can handle it. You have no idea what you're missing, because we have all drunk the Kool-Aid so much that we've become accustomed to genuflect at the altar of MD-directed medical mediocrity. Oh, thank you, doctor. Oh, under your tutelage, heart disease is unchanged. The cancer is unchanged. The arthritis is skyrocketing. Obesity is skyrocketing. Type 2 diabetes is skyrocketing. Autism and Alzheimer's are skyrocketing. Thank you so much, doctor. You're so good at what you do. I really just want to take your advice all of the time. Oh, Dr. Oz, I love you so much. And even though you were trained as a cardiac surgeon, I'm going to take your advice for everything else. I'm going to take your advice for everything else. What's that you say? No, I shouldn't take the advice of a chiropractor for open heart surgery, but I should take your advice for everything that chiropractors do and everything that naturopaths do and everything that homeopaths do. Oh, yes, Dr. Oz, thank you very much. Oh, doctor, you're the greatest. I think I'll up my insurance policy so I can have more access to your unbelievably ineffective, dangerous, and life-threatening protocols. Oh, doctor, you're just the greatest. You know what I think did it? Grey's Anatomy, Marcus Welby, MASH, all these TV shows all the time. Oh, House. The guy that plays House should be ashamed of himself. Nice actor, probably a really nice guy. My son's an actor, awesome at it. But, I'd have a hard time if he was tapped to play an MD on a TV show that made MDs look like gods. I'd have a hard time with that. I would. But that's just how I'm wired. I have a very low tolerance for human suffering. I do. And this is a big, bad voodoo daddy, and it's across the board. We all collectively need to snap out of it. Candace in Ohio writes, testimony. My daughter has seen the amazing improvements in my health and has started taking the products to keep from looking older than me. Also, her health is improving. In 1 month, she's lost 10 pounds, and she wasn't even trying. This protocol is so effective, your body fixes itself without you telling it what to do. We love and respect the process. Thank you for sharing, Dr. Glidden. You're welcome. My pleasure. I'm in it for the long run. You can count on me. I am your steadfast advocate for health, Dr. Peter Glidden. The best is yet to come. Stick around. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health. Finishing up today's show. The phone lines at the studio have been down, so we're leaning on the chat room here, streaming live at the drgliddenshow.tv. So we're going to take a couple more questions here from the chat room, and then we're going to finish up the show. So many people talking about so many different things. It's really, really great. Denise says, Doc, I have a gentleman that's called about his wife. She's been diagnosed with stage 4 renal failure. Yikes. She's 61 years of age, 185 pounds, another casualty of conventional American medicine. If I was this woman's husband, I would be madder than a hatter. She's type 2 diabetes, occasional high blood pressure, treated with diuretics. She's just been mismanaged by conventional medicine. She's in a car accident 9 years ago, has 4 back fusions. Her latest blood work shows that she's all messed up. Where do we start? Well, we find Doctor Who's TARDIS and we go back in time and we start giving her medical nutrition from birth. We advise her to eliminate the 10 bad foods from birth, and then none of this crap would have happened. We advise her about the incompetence and the short-sightedness of conventional medical doctors so she avoids going to see them. Notwithstanding that, we got to start somewhere. Everybody's body needs medical nutrition. Eliminate the 10 bad foods. Take 1 Dr. Glidden pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. To that, add 1 bottle of Sweeties per 100 pounds of body weight per month. 1 bottle of Sweeties per 100 pounds of body weight per month. And 1 bottle of Immortalium per 100 pounds of body weight per month. One more question. Time for one more question here. There's so much active chat here. It's hard for me to find a question amongst the mixed. Here it is. G. Garcia says, I have a customer that has high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes. His main issue is his kidney functioning at 20%. He's currently taking the HSP 2.0 liquid, sweeties and dailies. He wants to know what's my recommendation to help his kidney function. He's gluten-free and following the bad food list. Great. 6'3", 200 pounds. So in addition to what he's already doing, right, he should be doing 2 Healthy Start Pack 2.0 liquids, 2 bottles of sweeties, 1 bottle of Ultimate Daily, 4 bottles of Ultimate Selenium, 4 bottles of Ultimate Selenium, and he needs to secure somehow, by hook or by crook, with supplements, drinks, and or food, 100,000 ORAC points of antioxidants a day. 100,000 ORAC points of antioxidants a day. And life will be good. One more question, I believe. Wanda says, hey, Doc, I've been following you for a couple of weeks. After taking the Healthy Pack for 3 weeks, I have tender breasts and wonder what's going on. I asked this because I had a hysterectomy in 2007. The only other time I've had tender breasts was when I tried chia seeds 5 years ago. Also, I might add, I started out taking the full dose for my weight and have since dialed back after listening to one of my past shows. Okay, so when we're experiencing this just may be your body's response to medical nutrition, and all of a sudden your hormone levels are becoming active, whereas you've gotten used to your entire life underactive hormone levels, melancholy hormone levels, mediocre hormone levels. So now all of a sudden your body has the raw materials it needs to make hormones, and you're just not used to that. So my recommendation, eliminate all soy products from your diet. Eliminate all soy products from your diet. Eliminate all soy products from your diet. And dial it back to a 200-pound dose. Actually, you know what? I would dial it back to a 150-pound dose for 3 weeks. And then I'd go to a 200-pound dose for 3 weeks. And then I'd go to a 250-pound dose for, time immemorial. But by the time you get there, you're probably going to lose 50 pounds. So I'm going to assume that this is just your body kind of waking up and kickstarting itself into gear, because finally, for the first time in your life, it has everything that it needs to function optimally. Time is your biggest friend here. Maintain the discipline, fiddle with the program, stay in touch. We are here to help. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you more than you know. Next live event for Insiders Only, 8 p.m. tonight. Live chat, worldwide live chat for Dr. Glidden Insiders and their guests. Until we meet in person, I am your steadfast advocate for health, Dr. Peter Glidden. Live long and prosper.